How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to the channel where today we are kicking off our Game Week 5 predictions. Now, in this episode, I know I said we'll be doing 5 a week, but I've only got time to do 3. But I promise you there are 3 good ones, so be sure to watch the whole video. So let's begin. To start things off today, we will be talking about the Merseyside derby. Now, this may be the most juicy one yet. When it comes to Merseyside derbies, probably the most tense one that we've had in years. Could Everton finally win? Could they finally win against Liverpool? It's been 10 goddamn years since they had a win, and that was at Goodison Park, like it is this weekend. And the last time they won at Anfield was 1999. So, you know, I was about 6 months old. Such a tricky one, though, to predict, as Everton have gone 4 games unbeaten so far in the league. 7 if you want to include the Carabao Cup. Calvert-Lewin looked really solid for England last weekend. And Liverpool, well, they got figured out by Aston Villa when they got beat 7-2 in their last result. So this game just sounds like a no-brainer. You'd put your money on Everton, surely. Surely they're coming out on top. I'm not so sure, though, guys. I would just say a 0-0 draw because, you know, that would be typical of the Premier League. A really exciting fixture with the current circumstances, and that's what the result is. I can see it already, but I do think, despite Liverpool's woeful performance in Game Week 4, they're going to bounce back. They've got to. They've had a break, so hopefully they fixed up, especially at the back. I'm going to say Liverpool edge this. You know, 2-1 maybe. I think Everton definitely will score, but Liverpool have got to win it, surely. I could be way off here. And like I said, Everton are favourites by a country mile. But it's Liverpool. They can't just crash out of their parade already. I still think they will at least finish second, if not first. And despite how good Everton have looked, I don't think it will be enough. Right, okay. Next up, we have Arsenal versus Man City. This is a big one. Again, tough to predict, as Arsenal, despite the banter they've faced already, they've had a good start to this year's campaign with only 1 loss, and that was against Liverpool, and 3 wins. So they're looking okay. They're looking pretty good. Man City, however, played 1 less game, but they looked shaky. Like Liverpool, suffered a big loss. Not as bad as 7-2 against Villa, but 5-2 against Leicester. It's nothing to be proud of. This is City's worst start since 2010-11. And I know it's only 3 games, but when you say it like that, it is pretty worrying. And they are home. They haven't lost their 2 opening home games since 1953. So that's definitely something to think about and be happy about for City fans. Other good news for City. Aguero looks like he could be making a return. And that is definitely worrying for Arsenal, as Kieran Tierney, one of their better defenders, if not their best, you know, is having to self-isolate due to COVID-19. And yeah, it's definitely a worry, as they will most likely stick with their back 5. And instead of the Scotsman, they'll probably utilise the most versatile player in the league, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And on that left side, I don't know if I fancy him there. However, good news for Arsenal though. Thomas Partey, their new defensive midfielder, will most likely make his debut. And I just think it's a mega signing. I think it's a really good fit. And it really does change the look of their team. And if Partey and Ceballos can play together well enough, then that'll be something Arsenal fans are really going to love to see. And if I was a City fan, I would be definitely worried going into this. I have to go ahead though and say City will take this one, and I'm going to predict a 3-1 win. I don't think City's defence is there yet, so I can see them conceding, especially with Arsenal's attack. It does look very potent. Aubameyang not firing on all cylinders like he was last year, but you know, it's like I said, we're 4 games in. Well, this will be 5. So yeah, I could definitely see City conceding, but likewise Arsenal's defence isn't there either, especially with one of their star men out. Aguero being back is definitely worrying for Arsenal fans, and if he does play, I don't know, I think it will definitely make the difference. So, moving on to our final game now, we have 2 Uniteds facing off against each other, and that is Manchester and Newcastle. I think, again, it's a tough one to predict, as it's kind of similar to the Everton and Liverpool game, but not as good, because you've got United, the usual favourites, have been so poor. And they just look like they don't really care. And Newcastle have looked pretty solid so far. Newcastle actually receive a massive boost as 3 of their centre-backs returned from injury. Paul Dummett, Kieran Clark and their captain, Jamal Lascelles, whereas United could lose their captain, Harry Maguire, due to an injury woe. All will tell on the day though, I think, as injuries can be less serious than they may first seem, but losing Maguire might not be the end of the world for United fans at the moment, as he may be one of the, if not the worst performing centre-backs across the, the top 6 teams. He's letting 11 goals in 3 games so far, and I know it's not all down to him, but he's their £80 million centre-back, and also their captain, so if anyone's going to get the blame, I think he should be getting it. Moving on to Newcastle though, Alan St. Maximin signed a new 6-year deal, and I don't quite know why, to be perfectly honest with you. No disrespect to Newcastle here, but St. Maximin, he's way too good for them, and if he actually does ride out this contract, he's only going to go get better in those 6 years, potentially reaching his peak. So there has to be some sort of nice release clause in there, and there's no way he'd commit his future to a mid/bottom table club. Despite the weird contract though, Newcastle will be in high spirits, and United not so much, so we could see another upset for them on the cards. And you know what, I'm going to actually say a nice little 2-1 win for Newcastle. I know this is going to bite me when I post my reactions video, but I'm going to bite the bullet. I do believe we could see another nutty weekend in the Premier League, and Newcastle beating Manchester United will take the cream of the crop. So there we go, guys. I'm sorry this has gone up a bit later than usual on a Friday instead of a Thursday, and we have only done 3 games instead of 5, but I'm a busy guy, and if you have enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a like rating, subscribe if you are new around here, and I will catch you later. Goodbye.